Hi student, this week is Sec 3 lesson 4. Okay, so it's indices. So question 1, simplify each of the following giving your answers in positive index notation. So when they highlight that they want it to be in a positive index notation, basically telling you that the power has to be in positive. Okay, so recall what you learned in Sec 3 in the main lessons. What are the rules of the indices that you have learned so far? So for question A, you have a cube root of x to the power of 6 and y divided by a square root y. So how do we approach these questions? So first step, what we do is that we change, okay, this cube root of x to the power of 6 and y to a fraction power. So please remember, square root x will give you x 1 over 2. Okay, then if you have a cube root x, it will be x 1 over 3. So cube root x, 6 and y, basically the whole thing with a power of 1/3. Okay, then divided by square root of y will be y and a half. Okay, so why are we doing this is because once you make it into this format, you are able to tell that first step you need to expand the power in for x to the power 6 and y. So basically it's 6 times 1/3 and y to the power of 1/3. So x will give you divided by y 1.5. So x will be x to the power of 2, and then y 1/3 divided by y 1.5. So remember, y to the power of 2 divided by y to the power of 4. So both have the same base. When it's divide, that means the power minus. Okay, so it will give you y to the power of 2 minus 4. So hence, that's the reasons why you will use 1/3 minus 1.5. So you will get x to the power of 2, y negative 1 over 6. So question wants it to be a positive index notation. So you will have, okay, remember this formula. So you will have x squared over y 1 over 6. Okay, moving on to part B. So bracket 2x to the power of negative 1, bracket square divided by 8x to the power of negative 3. So we expand this inside first. So you will have 2 to the power of 2, then x minus 1 times 2 divided by 8x minus 3. So we solve this part first. So 2 to the power of 2 will give you 4. So x minus 1 times 2 is a minus 2 divided by 8x minus 3. So you will have 4 divided by 8. So basically, another way what I could show it on, it would be 4x minus 2 divided by 8x minus 3. Okay, so you can also approach this way. So it will give you 4 and 8 can simplify, will give you 1.5. Then you have left with, because it's divide, so x minus 2 minus 3. Okay, so you see, you will get x minus 2 minus 3. So you will have 1.5x, because minus 2 minus 3 will give you minus 2 plus 3, which is half x to the power of 1. So basically it will be half x. Okay. Part C, x over 2, whole thing bracket minus 2 times square root x and y. So what do? We expand in, minus 2 in. So we have x to the power of minus 2 and y to the power of minus 2 times x and y. So you must take note, x and y and a half. So do you see that this is y minus 2? So negative power in the denominator. So take note, 1 over a minus n is the same as 1 over 1 over an will be an. So therefore, you will have x minus 2, y to the power of 2 times x 1.5, y 1.5. So you combine x together. So when you have times, it will be power plus power. And then y, power plus power. So minus 2 plus 1.5 will be a minus 3 over 2. 2 plus 1.5 will be 5 over 2. So please take note that this is a negative power. So you need to change it to positive power. So you will have y 5 over 2 over x 3 over 2. Okay. Question 2, simplify each of the following, giving your answers in, again, positive index notation. So anything to the power of 0, you will know that it will give you 1. So you can have as many as possible, but when the power of 0 will just be 1. Okay. Then divide by this, so you need to expand. So you will have 1 over 4x to the power of 6. So why is that so? It's because 4x whole thing 6 and a negative 1. You write it in a positive, it will be 1 over 4x to the power of 6. So it's the same as telling you a to the power of negative n will be the same as 1 over an. Okay, so 1 divided by 1 over 4x6, remember your division. So we changed this would be 1 times 4x to the power of 6. So you will get 4x to the power of 6. Okay, so please take note now when you have divisions or fractions, the right hand side will inverse. That means it will flip the fraction. Okay. Next, part B, minus 2x to the power of 5 times 1 over 16x to the power of 4, whole thing power of half. So you will have, okay, expand in, you have minus 2 to the power of 5, x to the power of 5 times 1 over 6 to the power of half, and x to the power of 4 times half. So minus 2 to the power of 5 give you a negative 32, x to the power of 5 times, okay, 1 over 16 half. 1 over 16 half is basically telling you it's a square root of 1 over 16. So you will have 1 over 4. X to the power of 4 times half will be x to the power of 2. Okay, so same thing here as well. So 32, negative 32 times 1 over 4, and then x to the power of 5 times x to the power of 2 will be power plus together. So minus 32 times 1/4 will give you a minus 8. X to the power of 5 plus 2 will be an x to the power of 7. Okay. Question 3, evaluate each of the following without the use of calculator. So you can't use the calculator. So you need to show step by step. Okay. So 9 to the power of 0 will give you 1. Okay. Then 1 over 9 with a minus 1 here, you know that you can inverse. So you have a 9 minus 1 times 81 minus 1, which is I can change 81 to the same base as 9. Okay, so 81 give you 9 to the power of 2. So I will have 1 will still be here 1. So you see 9 minus 1, okay, minus 1 here will give you a minus 2 times 9. Sorry, minus 1 times minus 1 will give you, sorry. So 9 minus 1, minus 1. So it basically minus 1 times minus 1 will be a 9 to the power of 1. Okay, so therefore you have a 9. Then 2 times minus 1 will give you a 9 minus 2. So times will give you power plus power. So it will be 1 plus negative 2. So you will get a 9 to the power of negative 1. So this question didn't ask you to leave your answer in a positive index notation. But of course, you could always leave it, okay, in a positive index notation, which is 1 over 9. Okay, moving on to part B. 16, 1 over 4 divided by 16, 3 over 4 times 16, 5 over 4. So if you realize, right, the base are all the same. So if it's divide, that means power minus. If it's time, you plus. So you will have 16, 1 over 4 minus 3 over 4 plus 5 over 4. So you get 16, 3 over 4. Part C, 5 minus 3 over 7 times 25, 5 over 7 plus 5 over 0. So you notice, right, 25 can actually make it a base of 5 because 25 is the same as 5 to the power of 2. So you have 5 to the power of minus 3 over 7 times 5 to the power of 2 times 5 over 7 plus 5 0 is actually 1. 5 to the power of 0 is 1. So you will have 5 negative 3 over 7 power times, so 2 times 5 over 7, you will have a 10 over 7, then plus 1. So you combine the power together, you add the power together. So you will have 5, 7 over 7 plus 1. So do you see 7 over 7 is actually 1 whole? So it will be 5 to the power of 1 plus 1, which is 6. So that's for question part C. Moving on to question 4 part A. 9, 3 to the power of 2 times 27 to the power of 1/3 times 3 to the power of negative 2. So I will always take note that, you see, the base, can I make them into the same? Like, can I reduce it to like 3 so that, you know, when I have the same base, my power just basically add. So if you have 9, 3 over 2, okay, it's basically telling you, so you see, 9, I change it to 3 to the power of 2 because 9 is made out of 3 to the power of 2. So 3 to the power of 2 times 3 over 2 times 27 1/3. Recall what is 27 1/3. So 27, you can change it to 3, which is 3 and 1 over 3 times 3 minus 2. Another way what we could do is that, 27 1/3 is basically the same as cube root of 27. Then which give you 3. Okay, so here you see when 3 times 1/3 will still give you 3. So I can cancel. So it will be 3 to the power of 3 times 3 times 3 minus 2. So you can always take note, times means the power all add together. So this is 3 to the power of 1. So you have 3 plus 1 plus minus 2. So you will have 3 to the power of 2. Okay, so that's for 4a. 4b, you have a 2 over 3 whole thing minus 2 to the power of minus 2 plus 3 times 3, 1 over 3 to the power of 0 times 27, 2 over 3. So first thing, what you could do here is that I can actually solve this part first. So I change it to a positive index notation. So it'll be 1 over 2 over 3 to the power of 2 plus 3 to the power 1. Why? Because anything to the power of 0 will give you 1 times 27. I convert it to 3 to the power of 3 and then 2 over 3. So if you have this here, okay, what you do is that you inverse, because like 1 divided by 2 over 3 will be 1 times 3 over 2. So you see, that's the reasons why you have 3 over 2 to the power of 2 plus 3 to the power of 2, because this and this cancel. Then you will times in, so you have 3 to the power of 2 over 2 to the power of 2 plus 3, 1, then plus 2, because this is 3 to the power of 1. So you just times means that you plus the power together. So you will have 9 over 4 plus 3 to the power of 3. So take note, 3 to the power of 3 is 27. So 9 over 4 plus 27 will give you a 29, 1 over 4, because this will give you 1 whole 5. No, sorry. This will give you 2 whole 1 over 4. So that's why when you plus 2 in, you will get 29, 1 over 4. Question 5. Simplify the following, giving your answers in positive index notation. So I have minus 2 to the power of x to the power of 3 over y, whole thing 4 divided by 4x2 over y cubed, whole thing cubed times negative 6y to the power of 4 over x squared. So first thing I did was that my minus 2 has to be 4, and then x 3 times 4 have to expand in over y to the power of 4 divided by 4 to the power of 3 x to the power of 2 times 3. So a lot of students, right, they thought that whole thing is like that. It's basically only x like 2 times 3. No, this is basically telling you is 4 times x to the power of 2 whole thing cubed. So that means 4 itself also has to be cubed, and then x squared itself has to be cubed as well. Okay, so take note of that. Then move on. Then y, also y cubed times 3. So times minus 6 to the power of 2 times y4 to the power of 4 times 2 over x to the power of 2. So minus 2 to the power of 4, you get 16. Then x3 times 4, you get 12 over y4. Then divided by 4 to the power of 3 is 64. X to the power of 6 over y to the power of 9 times 36 y to the power of 8 over x to the power of 2. So when you divide, right, remember this, you will have to flip, okay? So you will have times y to the power of 9 over 64 x to the power of 6 times 36 y to the power of y to the power of 8 over x to the power of 2. So you see which way you can cancel. Okay, so another way you could do is that you can actually times everything together. So you have 16 times 36, and then x12, y9 plus 8 over 64, x to the power of 6 plus 2, because you see, x to the power of 6 times x to the power of 2, so you plus, and y4. 16 times 36 is 576, x to the power of 12, y to the power of 17, over 64, x to the power of 8, y to the power of 4, and from here you simplify, okay? So you can always cancel out the common terms. So this is 9, this is 1, and this will give you 4, and this will give you a 13. So you will have 9 x to the power of 4 y to the power of 13. So you must be careful when you actually cancel it off. So if your handwriting is untidy, you actually will make yourself confused at the end of the final answer. Okay, so try to take note what you're canceling and mark it up. Okay, that's all. Thank you.